Alright guys, in this video I'm gonna show you how I built this wooden leg press. Alright, before I get into details on how I built this leg press, here's an advice. This is made of wood and it's a DIY project that I made here in my workshop. Since this is made of wood, it won't be able to handle the same amount of weight that the one you'll find in a commercial gym. Right now I got 160 kilos on it. I think 200 would probably be no big deal for it. Maybe 250, but I wouldn't go above that. I'm open for suggestions, and since it's made of wood, I will gladly do some improvements on it as far as it's possible. I've done a lot of gluing and screwing together, so it's not possible to take everything apart. But I'll gladly do some improvements. If you have any improvements, please leave them in the comment section down below. Let's get started. The leg press is probably one of the most popular machines that you'll find in the big gyms. I haven't really seen that many DIY projects on a leg press. I've seen one well made out of wood, and then one or two made of steel, and those of steel didn't really seem to be very strong. Since I've been making it out of wood, I have to make sure to strengthen and reinforce it everywhere that is possible, because the leg press potentially should carry a lot of weight. So my idea is we have the base frame with a 45-degree angle. That's gonna be the base frame. Then I have my seat will be here, and I will have some kind of backrest, and I also want it to be adjustable, the backrest, so I can tilt it. For that I will make a few holes on each side of the leg press, put some kind of steel rod, steel pipe in between, so the backrest will be resting on the steel pipe. Then there's gonna be some start-stop handles, and they will be hinged so they can open and close, and that'll be some kind of handle on it. Then there's the weight trolley itself with a foot plate on it. My idea is to use furniture wheels. Most of the commercial ones will be made with either some kind of linear bearing or a pipe that goes on top of a rod, and then the weight trolley will travel along that. That's a bit difficult to do, first of all, with wood, and with just normal hand tools and so on. It's not going to be that precise, so I'm not going to do that. I'll be using furniture wheels, and hopefully that's going to work. I will make some kind of track system so they don't get out of direction. And I'll also somehow make sure that the top layer of that trolley will be secured so it won't fall up. I need somewhere to put the weight. I have some 1.5 inch pipe that I'll probably be mounting. I'm not quite sure yet how. I think the best way to put it is to put the weight below the trolley, so they will always be pulling the trolley down, making it safer. For that I'll be having my weights down here somehow. I just have to figure that out. So I'll be making all the basic structure first, and then I'll be working on the trolley system. I've done some measurements with my squat depth and how much my leg will travel when I flex them, and based on that I should have around 60 to 70 centimeters of travel distance with the weight trolley. Around 125, 130 centimeters. It's just some estimates, and then I will take a look at it when I build it. Okay, so the basic frame is completed now. There's probably still gonna be a few adjustments when I put on the weight trolley and the seat and all the things that's gonna get on it. and I need to reinforce it. But the basic frame is completed, and I've changed the dimensions a little bit. So let's take a look at the dimensions. I made it the height 145 centimeters instead of around 125 or 30. And the length, total length is 200. And of course, this number is the same because then we have a 45-degree angle. The width is 60 centimeters. That might not be a lot, but I wanted it to take up as little as possible space. Then in case it gets wobbly to side, then I'll extend the legs on the side. Here's how it looks at the moment. And then my idea about the trolley. I have a furniture trolley here. That's not the one I'm gonna use, but it's just to see how to get an idea. My idea is that it will not necessarily be completely on this beam, but at least be fixed inside the frame and then slide down. So I'll need to make some kind of plate that the wheels will roll on, and to make it safe, I want a bracket of some kind to come up from the side and then cover the top of it, so to prevent it from slipping out like that. And then when I've done that, then I'll make the seat and the backrest, and then I'll test it and make sure to reinforce it on the way. Alright, so the rail system is ready. So the trolley wheel will go in here, and this is to prevent it from slipping out. And the depth of this is just up to the center of the wheel. Just below the nut. And it seems to be rolling quite well. That. Alright, day 2 of the leg press build. Here's an update, and here's what I'm gonna do today. Hopefully I will be able to finish it and test it. I was working on the trolley system yesterday, and you know, my plan was to put the weight below the trolley, but that seems to be really difficult to make. So my idea now is to put a 1.5 inch pipe here on both sides. I have a 1 meter length that I'll cut in two, so 50 centimeters. Around 20 of those will be inside the leg press trolley, or the weight trolley, and be mounted there, and then 30 centimeters or so for weight plates. And since the weights will be on the trolley, and the way that I made the foot plate, I won't be able to have a safety system on the leg press frame itself. My plan was to have something going along the rails and then over the trolley like that to prevent it from popping out. But then I'll just do it the other way, put it on the trolley and underneath here. Maybe I'll need a guide wheel of some kind underneath, but I'll look into that. Another thing that I might do about the trolley is I found some 1-inch steel piping yesterday that I could potentially use as a guide. So it will be driving up here, and then I'll have a block of wood underneath the trolley with a hole, and then the pipe will slide in through that. I'm probably going to do both that, so both the pipe and the safety system on the side. This is how the trolley looks. I made a slightly angled foot plate. It's cut with a 15-degree angle. And then after that, I will be making the seat. Right now I'm just having a plate lying there. It's not mounted. And here's the pipe that I will be using for the adjustment. So that will be mounted with on the leg here and go onto the other side, and then I can adjust the height by putting it into another hole. And the last thing will be to reinforce the entire frame, at least the legs. I will put another piece of wood here on each side. I will put some more wood underneath. This is cut from yesterday, leftover from yesterday, that I could put underneath, kind of like that. So in that case, the safety system screw should only go to here. That will be the last thing, and I will reinforce it as much as I can. Alright, so I'm almost done. I just need to properly mount the weight trolley in a safe way. But here's an update so far. I've made a safety system, or the start-stop system. Basically, it's a 2x4 that sits inside the rail that the weight trolley will roll on, mounted with a hinge on each side. Opens and closes like that. I would suggest going with a smaller hinge, but this is what I bought. I thought I would be using something kind of like that and go on the side, but that's not the case. Maybe I'll replace that, but currently it's gonna work. Okay, so works pretty well. Got a steel pipe going along the rail, and then somehow I will attach the trolley to that, so it prevents it from flipping up. And I will also put a small wheel like this on the inside of the frame, and this is only to keep control of it. So, and then the weight trolley will have an arm going out here and underneath, and this goes up. And the seat is almost done. I just need to make the adjustment thing, but I will do that as the last thing. Seat starts here, and then I'll be able to adjust it in different angles. Alright, so it's completed now. Let's take a look at it. Let's start with the adjustable backrest. Opens and closes like that, and then I can adjust the height by putting this steel pipe in a lower position, and it goes all the way through and then to the other side. I will probably put some cushioning on it, since it's wood, it's really hard. So some cushioning, I would recommend that. That's the next thing on it. Then we have the start-stop system. This is 2x4s that goes in the rail, and then you'll just open and close with the handles. As I said, the width is 60 centimeters, and so in here it's probably, on the inside, it's probably around 40 centimeters. It's a bit narrow, so if you do a similar start-stop system, probably go a little wider, maybe outer width between 70 or 80 centimeters. When I open the start-stop system, there's not a whole lot of space because I go up here. It works for me. I can still be in the machine, but I would recommend going a bit wider. And as you can see on this wheel up here, it just pushes on the lowest wheel on the weight trolley. As I said before, the trolley goes inside a rail. Like that. My original plan was to use wheels like this that rotates, because then I didn't have to be that precise when mounting it, but I ended up with the conclusion that didn't work because it needs a longer distance to get in the right position. So I ended up setting 4 non-rotating wheels on it. And again, it's furniture wheels, the most heavy-duty ones that I could find. The trolley moves up and down along this steel pipe. It's not touching it. The only purpose of the steel pipe is to catch the trolley if the other safety mechanism fails, and the trolley eventually would fall over, then the steel pipe will catch it. And the pipe is connected in the bottom. Yes, it goes into this hole and then it stops on this block. And up here it just goes through. And on here I just put a bolt through it to prevent it from sliding up. And the other safety system goes on here. And it's just a small wheel that goes on the inside of the frame. This wheel is just supporting, and just in case this breaks, then the pipe will take over. Everything is made of 2x4 and a few pieces of plywood. And the legs, I've doubled it, so it's actually become a 4x4. And I made sure to put a lot of glue in between those and screw them all together on here on the inside. One thing that I would like to do different, but didn't have the opportunity to, the pipe that holds the weight is cut in two because I only had 1 meter length. But the best thing would be to have a pipe that goes all the way through, and then it will go here as well. But it only goes like 20 or so centimeters in and stops here. Then I mounted it inside these 2x4s with a hole in here and mounted a few screws into the top of the steel pipe. I drill a hole inside the pipe and the screws go into that. Alright guys, that's it. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button, and if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to my channel. Here's a few other videos that might find your interest, my squat rack and my other DIY projects. See you soon!